Hello, this is Dr. Wendy Rowley, and this is the series of information about the heart field, and this is the second adaptation for that. It's a series that will be running through the year. And what I'd like to talk about first is a little bit to mention about women in the heart field. Um, if our if our physical body and our denser layer is sort of us and our relationship to self. And if I were to take you through the bodies a little bit of your spiritual anatomy, and then you have your spirit body, and that can have a level where it's a relationship to others. And then you can have a farther out layer that's a relationship to family. Those three layers all have to do with um, your your life force, your personal life force. And when you get to uh, more far reaching layers of the energy field, it might go to the levels of tribes and nations. And when you get to those levels of your energy field, you're working with more universal life, a universal life that all are sharing at a larger group level. And for women, we have a third energy field that men don't have at the body level, the spirit body level, the physical body. You have your ovaries and your um, five physical. I'm sorry, you have your ovaries and your uterus, and you have your five physical and spiritual senses. So you're aware of this aspect of your body when it speaks to you monthly or uh, sensations. And then you have the spirit body level equivalent of that, which has your ovaries and uterus still as organs, but at a spiritual level. And then you have your universal life level of, well, let me just say those then go into what's called the divine feminine energy. And the divine feminine energy, as it continues to branch out into larger levels, has a connection to universal life. So women have a third energy field of the creative female energy that comes out in the front of your second chakra and comes up in a little 2-inch stream and goes over top of your head, comes the back of the sixth chakra, it comes in at the back of the third, and it comes in and nourishes and feeds those female energetic organs that we mentioned, as well as endocrine connections to that. And then your divine feminine has a couple of pathways. It has two streams that come down into the head and run along the back, a little bit more toward the back of the body. And that goes down to the second chakra and feeds those ovarian uh, glands and systems there. And then you have another part of the divine feminine that comes down, and it comes in at the back of the fourth chakra, and it comes into the heart and goes up. So the divine feminine comes through the heart, coming up this way from that first two streams I mentioned, and it has a connection coming in of the stream that comes down to the back of the heart and comes in. And this is unique to women. Women have a dual connection through the heart, through divine feminine, that men do not have because of this third energy field. And in women, it's often why we are the nurturers of family and individuals, and why we are basically the instillers of values in society. Now, that could be an arguable, arguable point, but the women, if you really think on it, sort of set ideals and values for society, and it's something that is kind of interesting to contemplate. I suggest you contemplate that in a meditation, maybe consider that. And so this double heart connection also gives us a different healing ability besides that nurturing ability, we can heal in a more profound and different way, not more profound, but we can heal the heart field and speak to the heart field in a different way than men can. And men have, I've heard the expression, and Alaini has said it, men do great work with creating form and structure, and women do great work involve, involving the spiritual nature of, um, of mankind. And so our ability to heal and work in the heart field is quite a interesting concept of things to consider when we talk about the heart field. So each of the different sexes has different aspects in the heart field with which it is aligned with. Okay, I just wanted you to have that understanding, and I'm going to get out of the way and let Aliania share some information with us. Good day to you, dearest beings of light. I am Aliania of Cosmic Service, Pleiadian Mother of Sound. Peace be with you. The light of your soul be with you, and the light of your high essence through your soul from the creative source be with you. We have given much intention to, in your meditations, if you are a meditator, to consider putting up a picture with the earth and two bands, one being the earth band and the other one being the galactic band, and beyond the galactic band there's space, starry space. And we have been encouraging to imagine you're here grounded and aligned, but attuned to that space between the earth and the galactic band. And because there's a juicy energy coming into the planet at this time, a very benevolent energy, aspects of which will come in this year of 2023 in the May-June timeframe, the September-October timeframe, and in the November-December timeframe, which, interesting, are times of solstices and equinoxes. And there will be influxes of this energy that has been coming in and building up there, and higher creational beings and light beings and angels and archangels that you call them have been doing a lot of work up there to prepare for influxes of new energy. And those influxes percolate in by degrees. And this time of year, there'll be 3 of those coming in, where there might be a sudden influx of compassion amongst people. There might be sudden influxes of changing directions on things that were headed in one direction, but now, oops, we're going to just change that and do a different direction. So you're going to see that outwardly as maybe some of the ways it will manifest. For those who are lovers of healing work and meditation and juicy spiritual work, and or they're in the prayer groups that are formed around the world, or they're joining groups of people who are doing intention healing work to bring peace and love and a decrease in violence in different areas, or if you're one of the groups of people that just hold an intention for the earth to be healed and for mankind to start becoming more aware of loving Mother Earth, or one of the groups that turns an intention to just toning love for the earth or toning benevolence for the earth, we encourage you to consider also doing more group work, because the power and the intensity behind group work is going to increase. As this one said, evolving tribes and nations that she described in her trying to imagine your energetic anatomy. And so much of the energy that is going on at the periphery of the planet and the changes there and the preparations there are about doing the profound work of healing tribes and nations on the earth. So in your heart field, in the divine feminine connection that men have, but women have a double one, and she forgot to mention that men have the divine feminine also in the heart, She was a little nervous about this one because we gave her a little heads up in a different way today. We'll just leave it at that. But both men and women have divine feminine in the heart, but women have a double connection through the heart of the divine feminine. So in the heart field, in the healing and in the work that is coming, if you're called to that type of a work, there will be particular aspects that men will do in the heart field healing, and there will be particular aspects that women will do in the heart field healing. So what we wish to tell you about the heart field this day is how those aspects come about in the difference between men and women. So in the creational energies that are connected to the heart field through the universal life and the divine feminine, in men, they go to aspects in the creational field through your creational energy down into the greater creational energy of the earth, and they have an effect for men of affecting the layers and structures of grids, if we may say them, that have, as she said, as she was taught back in 2017 or 18, that have an effect on the creation of form and structure. And this aspect has to do, of course, with the human species. So if a evolution happens in one of the organs or endocrines or aspects of the physical body that happen first in the spiritual body, that happen over on the larger construct of the grids and the creational energy first, and then go into the spirit body, and then go into the body over eons and eons of time, the male aspect of a spirit in a body works at that level. And the female aspect, with the double connection through the heart, works at the higher creational, not higher better, just higher going to a different aspect, the creational level aspect of the aspect that does go to the spiritual nature. So the organs and the body and the endocrine and the structures are a spiritual nature. But the spiritual nature we are talking about has to do with the creational and the influx of qualities and aspects of the creative source. By this we mean compassion, love, changes in consciousness at an aspect that has to do with the spiritual consciousness creational level. So we have the spiritual form and structure and body level, and we have the spiritual form and structure and consciousness level. And so it doesn't mean that in form and structure you don't change consciousness, because you do. But it means that the spiritual nature of the qualities of love and compassion are the field of what women heal. I hope these subtleties of what we are speaking about are clear in the way we've tried to describe them. And they are more complex than we are able to describe, because you would have to have developed, and we don't mean to sound belittling, but you would have to have developed a fairly advanced evolutionary perspective to see it in a more complex way for what it truly is. But in this description, we were able to sort of give you that generalized understanding. So it is true that women change the spiritual nature and men change the form and structure in what she was taught long ago. So when you go to these prayer groups, you go to these benevolent tonings for the earth, you go to these sound healings for the earth, you go to these benevolent intentions for healing the grids of the earth and the old memories of war and structures of greed and all the things that were of your past history of thousands of years that are not of the consciousness of today, which is coming and many are speaking about. Realize that each of you has your sacred task, and that all of you, men and women, do it together. That it is a co-creation between male and female that make the whole change possible. And this is what we wish to share with you today about the heart field in relation to creating change on the earth. Peace be with you. You are dearly loved. Expect benevolence in all you do, and we bid you adieu. I hope you enjoyed this second segment, and we're going to sign off, and we'll see you next video. Bye-bye.